Good afternoon. My name is Melanie Brady Shanley. I'm the superintendent of schools here at Winchester. We're happy to have everybody here today. I'm pleased to say that Governor Lamont and Commissioner Cardona are visiting Winchester Public Schools in anticipation of our August 31st reopening to full in-person education here in Winchester. I have to say that I have a great appreciation for the continual communication from various stakeholders at the state, local, and district level. The guidance from the State Department of Education Reopening Committee has allowed our district to tailor our reopening plans to meet the needs of students, families, and staff members to ensure the safest and most compliant possible reopening. The guidance has also provided districts latitude to meet the unique needs of each district, both in terms of operations and instructional needs. At Winchester, we did not wait to go over our reopening process. We started our process in May of 2020. We had team input from all of our unions, teachers, non-certified staff members, custodians, administrators, academic specialists, and parents. This team utilized guidance from the Preparing for a Safe Return to the Classroom learning document, which is also known as the Summer School Guidance, and the Adapt, Advance, and Achieve Connecticut's plan to learn and grow together to build our operational and instructional plans. This team's work has been hands-on. In order to effectively prepare our district for a positive reopening experience, we've had to utilize a team approach, which required hands-on, day-to-day support throughout our district. We've had to work to set up classrooms, procure personal protective wear, communicate plans, address fears, and ultimately turn over facilities that were prepared to ready and welcome students and families and staff back to Winchester Public Schools. Winchester Public Schools has routinely communicated with families via social media and our interactive Zoom presentations to keep our families, staff, and community informed throughout this process. During July and early August, we implemented various surveys to identify the preferences for child education. The choices included in-person, temporary opt-in distance learning, or homeschooling. At this point, Winchester Public Schools has 22% of families opting for temporary distance learning, 76% for in-person learning, and 2% homeschooling. We expect that education is going to look different. However, different isn't necessarily a negative. We know that what kids miss are their teachers, their friends, and the connections that they have to trusting adults. They need and benefit from face-to-face instruction. I stand in front of you today not just as a superintendent, but as a parent of a second grader and a high school freshman. I'm trusting in the process to have schools safely ready for children to re-enter, not just for parents and their children, but for my own children too. I see on a daily basis how my own children miss their friends, miss their teachers, and the strong face-to-face interactions that they miss for instruction. I'm hopeful for all districts coming up that each district in the state of Connecticut has such a positive reopening choice as Winchester Public Schools will. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for all of the press that is here, but more importantly, leadership matters, and we know that Governor Lamont and Commissioner Cardona have done a great job in terms of setting the stage for all schools to be able to open this fall. Our superintendent that was just up here, Melanie Brady Shanley, has been working on this since way back when we first went out because of the virus. Her work throughout the district with all of our school systems that we have here in town has been exceptional. She has been meeting with parents online. She's been putting out information. She's been in touch with our town management. She's been keeping everyone informed. Everybody's been working so hard, and again, as I said, it's because of the strong leadership that we've had. We are so grateful to the state of Connecticut for the resources that they have provided and that they will be providing through the Federal Government CARES Act, through our own state resources that we have here. We couldn't do it. Small towns really need the partnership that we have at the state level, and we are so grateful for all of that. So again, thank you for everyone. As a former educator, we know that it's extremely important to get our students back into school so they don't lose any ground, so that they can move forward, because as we know, the world moves fast, and sooner than we can blink, they will be people that are entering our workforce, and we certainly will need a strong workforce here in Connecticut. So thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry, Candy Perez, I'm the mayor of Winchester, and thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity to come forward. State Representative Jay Case of the 63rd. I want to thank the governor and the commissioner for coming out to Winchester. Melanie and her crew and the Board of Education have done an amazing job to get things going and get things moving here in Winchester. You know, we've been through some difficult times, not only with COVID, and they've managed to get the schools ready and get them prepared. You know, as we know right now, we are dependent on our first responders, our police, our emergency management. Steve Williams is here in the building. The chief is here. You know, we have power outages. Melanie has been able to work through those challenges and get the schools ready. I just got notified the school across the town, Region 7, just got power, so she's been out of power for 7 days trying to get her school ready. But it's about working together and getting things to happen. This, not only in Hartford, but the administration, the community, the amount of calls of concerned parents, and the way it has been diffused by the administration here in Winsted, and allowing parents to make the decision on what they want to do, whether it's coming back to school or doing distance learning, has been awesome. There's other districts or other towns that I do represent that are doing it a little bit different way. The teachers are concerned. But Melanie and her team have taken the stance of getting kids back to school, getting them back to socialization. I'm a firm believer as a human service major that working together, being around your peers is part of life. Everybody's been at home for such a long period of time, and now we've been at home even longer because we've had no power. So, you know, I spoke with the governor a little bit earlier, but you know, I'm working hard with our emergency people. We have a group home in town that just lost their generator power. They have no power. So it's been some struggles the past week. And the bottom line is I want to thank the administration, thank Melanie and her team, thank the town manager here for taking my calls at 10, 11 o'clock at night and actually getting the town back in order. Once again, it's a group effort, it's a community effort, and thank you for everybody that's involved.
Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Silverio, and I am the principal of Pearson School. I'd like to say thank you to Governor Lamont and Commissioner Cardona for visiting our school here today and for highlighting the work that we've been doing to plan for our reopening. I'd like to also thank Superintendent Shanley for leading the way. In May, as you've heard, we've started with a committee that had input from all stakeholders, from parents to faculty members, teachers, administrators, union representatives. And we have dug deep into the reopening plan and looked at every aspect that could be impacted by having kids return to school. And I want to say with full confidence that our hard work and thinking about every detail has left us feeling very good about reopening in August. August 31st, we'll be welcoming students back to our school full time. We've given parents the option to opt for distance learning as well, so we have a small percentage of students that will be participating in distance learning. With that, we feel that our plans have provided opportunities for us to have a very safe and structured environment to welcome students back to school. During the school closure, we made every effort to engage our students through distance learning. However, we know that our students benefit most from being here in person. They benefit from the structure, the routines that school can put in place for them, the social emotional support that we can give to our students, and the relationships that we can build in person with our kids. And so with that in mind, we are very eager to have our students back here in school where we feel they will do their best. Our committee has provided the structures in place. Our plan will address the academic and social emotional needs of our students, and we'll also take into consideration the health concerns by being compliant with all of the social distancing requirements and the health requirements to ensure that everyone is safe. Their safety and their health is our highest priority coming back, so that will guide our plan as we enter students back. I just want to say that I feel it's my responsibility to help parents feel confident to send their child back to school, and to know that we're doing that with the highest respect for their wellness, but doing so in a way that will bring them back to where they belong. Our school is impeccably clean. Our team has been cleaning, rearranging classrooms, and ensuring that we are compliant with all things that we need to do to get everyone here back to school learning and being happy being together again. Thank you again for this opportunity.
My name is Lisa Whipple. I'm with the Winchester Public School System. Not only a faculty member, but as a parent, I feel confident with the plan going forward. I feel confident in the safety measures they have taken, and I can't wait for the school year to start, and my daughter can't wait for the school year to start. I think it'll be a good school year.
Good afternoon, Miguel Cardona, Commissioner of Education, proud Commissioner of Education for the state of Connecticut. I want to thank the team here for the invitation and for the conversation. You know, before this press conference, we had a wonderful roundtable talking about the summer school programming, and I wish you could have heard that, to hear how the kids were able to come into school and took a little bit of work, but they had their masks, they got into the routine, and they were happy to be here. And as the success of the program continued, some of the fears kind of went down a little bit for all. So that success is what's going to propel us in Connecticut to move forward. I want to thank Superintendent Melanie Brady Shanley for her invitation. And, you know, just listening to her, it reminds me of the saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast. It doesn't matter what your plan looks like. It doesn't matter, you know, the technical things you put in your plan. When there's a culture of trust, respect, ongoing collaboration, things are going to work out. And that's what I see here in Winchester today. I see a community where we had a meeting where we had the police chief, we had state representatives, we had the mayor, we had school officials, teachers, having conversations about what's best for kids. And when everyone comes around what's best for kids, good things happen. You know, they talked a little bit about the summer school success and how students were able to engage in learning. They talked about the safety mitigation strategies that they put in place, and how they have some in place that are not even required, but they know that that's important for families to feel comfortable and to feel safe here. You know, I know there are many students with high needs here in this community, and many students with high needs that benefited from the summer school program. I want us to keep in mind that when we're talking about returning to school in person in our communities, we're also thinking about how do we do this for our students that are highest needs. We know that for many students with high needs, where a laptop and connectivity isn't the best, they haven't been in a classroom since March 12th. And we need to really, especially with the data that we have in Connecticut, do everything in our power to safely bring them back. Leadership matters. I heard someone say that earlier today. Leadership matters. And we have a strong superintendent who is bringing together people. But leadership is not only the title or the letters after your name. There's leadership in this room with everyone coming together. And that's powerful. That's a powerful example of what's needed to continue to move our education system forward. You know, the principal failed to mention that she's the 2019 Principal of the Year in Connecticut. Congratulations, Barbara Silverio. I want to take this moment to acknowledge your hard work and what a deserving honor. Yeah, congratulations to you. You know, but leadership does matter. And I want to acknowledge the leaders, not only here in this community, but also throughout the state. You know, our superintendents have really stood up and said, how can we get students into our classrooms safely? And it's not easy to create or keep that culture going when there's a lot of fear, a lot of different opinions on things. There are no perfect answers. We know that going into this. There are no perfect answers. But we're committed to doing what's best for kids and for our staff to make sure that they feel comfortable, to continue the work that we do, which is to serve children in the state of Connecticut. I love this example. I love what I heard, and I feel inspired. And I know that together, Connecticut, we're going to do it. And we're going to do it for our students. And we're going to grow, and we're going to adjust as we have to. But that's part of everyone's plan. There's no other state in the country that is in the position that we're in. So I think we can do it in Connecticut. I know we can do it. And I know that together we're going to accomplish a lot more. And today's just testimony to that. When you come together around what's best for kids, good things are possible. So thank you again for the invitation. Thank you for the great work you're doing here. I'll now turn it over to our governor, Governor Lamont.
I'll tell you one thing, Barbara, I want to be a Pearson parent. I want to be a parent of probably in my case, a grandparent actually, of a kid that gets a chance to go to one of the Winchester public schools. It's been a long, long time. And I know that these kids, I've talked to a lot of them, are so looking forward to seeing their friends, look them in the eye, see their teachers. I talked to a lot of kids today, and they're going to get that opportunity right here and to do it safely. You know, Barbara, you talk to all the other superintendents. Our superintendents are doing an amazing job all around this state. There's so much fear, there's so much anxiety. Can we do it safely? And my job has been to convince people we've led with public health every step of the way. That's what we just talked about. And Barbara, as Miguel said, we had teachers and parents and all the stakeholders at the table. And every day we got to give you confidence that what we're doing is led by public health. And one other thing I love about this school, I was just looking over at your history bookshelf there, and great historical figures. Right next to Ben Franklin was Bob Dylan. So there's a little edge here. I'm getting older. But I just want to say that, as Miguel said, if Connecticut can't get their kids back into the classroom safely, no state can. We're in a unique position to be able to do that. We've worked really hard. We've been wearing our masks. We've showed the social discipline we need. We've kept our infection rate one of the lowest in the country. And I think we've earned the right, our kids have earned the right to be able to go into a classroom and see their friends and be with a teacher and have real in-classroom education. And for those of you who don't yet feel confident, what we've done is backed you up. We've got 100,000 Chromebooks. We can provide the distance learning. We can give you a Zoom interface back into the classroom until you feel more confident. But what Barbara's done and Melanie has done and what you've done here at Pearson School is work very closely with teachers and parents, leading with the fact that we got your public health in our heart. And that's why you've got 3/4 of the parents want their kids coming back to school. I know they're going to do it safely. I know you only let them do it if they can do it safely. And man, I wish I was a Pearson parent. Thanks, everybody. Does anybody have any questions for Barbara?
Marcy, can you jump in?
Yeah.
The president said open the schools, open them wide open. How important is it for state and local communities to make the decisions that are right for their communities and their children and their families?
I think the decision only works when it's based on a local level. But first of all, I wouldn't be opening my school in southern Florida. I wouldn't be opening a school in Texas or in Phoenix or South Central LA, but I would do it in Connecticut. And I would do it right here. And I think I would do it because I know we can do it safely. I know I can give those kids the best opportunity for a real in-person education. But you can only do it when you have a great principal, when you have a great superintendent, working every day with parents and teachers to build up the confidence that we can do it safely.
And that is the most important point, that the families, the parents, and the children feel safe?
I think that's very important. And by the way, people should know we were one of the first states in the country to close down schools. It broke my heart when we had to do it. And I think people know that we're cautiously reopening schools. And if the metrics ever change, we would have to change course again. I hope that doesn't happen.
Governor, is there any update on what's going to be going on with confusion over how the state would be handling that. If either one of you would like to speak about that, that would be really helpful.
I think those kids, they ought to have an in-classroom option. Don't tell them they can't go to the class if their parents feel that that would be best for them and they feel confident doing that. But, you know, as I just said, the previous questioner, we leave a lot of discretion up to the local schools and the local district. They're going to go in. If New Haven really doesn't want to let their kids into the classroom, at least not right now, they'll go and discuss that with Miguel. But I would say, a lot of people say, let's wait, let's see a little longer, let's wait another month or two. And I don't know what the world's going to look like in a month or two. I know how it changed dramatically in the last month or two. So I'm inclined to say, let's let the kids into the classroom now just so they have that in-person education as long as we can do it safely.
Has there been any problem getting the supplies necessary to start? We were talking about the Chromebooks and technology and that. But you're also going to need some PPE. You're going to need some cleaning supplies and that. Has there been any stress or any problem getting?
No, not so far. We anticipated this. We knew we had to build a stockpile. Frankly, we knew we couldn't wait on the Washington stockpile. So we're going to be able to provide the masks and the other support that our schools need.
Because things change so dramatically, are you still advising school districts to build a solid distance learning plan just in case we have to return to our homes this fall and this winter?
Yeah, well, as Jay said, first of all, some parents don't feel comfortable, so we've got a distance learning plan for them. But more importantly, if the world turns, if you see what happened in Arizona, it was like a hockey stick how fast things changed. And I'm afraid we learned that, back in March as well. So yeah, we've got to have a backup plan that involves distance learning. That's why we have over 100,000 Chromebooks, so no kid's going to be left on the wrong side of that digital divide. We're opening up Wi-Fi and other ways to get access. Yes, ma'am. Questions about homeschooling? Barbara, didn't you say two families have chosen homeschooling as an option? 2%. That's right. Yeah. Elena, what should we tell the superintendents who are looking around right now? What advice do you give them? Because they're doing extraordinary work and you should be comparing notes. Just say one thing to the supers if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. I think, across whether you're a teacher, superintendent, administrator, at no greater time throughout the course of our educational careers have we had the opportunity to collaborate as much. I mentioned during our pre-conversation, we have an immense amount of support coming from our state level, whether it's the governor's office, Commissioner Cardona's office, and also, our local associations that we work with on a daily basis. We can't do this work in a vacuum, and we certainly can't do this work alone. So through the support of the governor's office, Commissioner Cardona's office, and our local associations and partnerships that we carry within our towns, it has to be a team effort, and I applaud all of my colleagues and superintendents across the state for the hard work that's been done over the course of the past 4 to 5 months. Like I said, this work does not get done alone. And if it wasn't for all the strong teams that stand behind those of us that are in the front of this, we would not be in the place that we are right now. So certainly appreciative to all of my colleagues and all of the work that's done in their districts every day.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.